Chris, welcome to this week's tutorial. Let's draw together. In this week's tutorial, I'll be drawing a fashion girl backwards view in Procreate, and I'm sure you can create this too if you follow along all the way to the end of the video, especially if you have these stamp brushes I'm going to be showing you. So today is going to be a little bit different. Just like last week, I'm going to be showing you these new backwards body brushes that I just created, so let's get to it. Thank you again, so many of you gave me your suggestions and I really appreciate it. Helped me out a ton. So yeah, I like alliteration, so we went with that. But they are really super fun brushes to help you draw people better, females specifically this time, and it's the backwards view. So those cute little best friend illustrations you see, so that's what we're kind of going for here. So these brushes are available. You'll find them in a link in the description below. Let me just show you how to use them. So there's two ways to use them. You can draw your own clothes and design your own outfits and all that kind of stuff, or you can use all the clothing brushes in here. So let's go do this. I'm just gonna have a canvas at 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, 300 DPI as usual. I'm just gonna have a black color going here just for my guides, and we have curvy build and a slim build, so I'm going to use curvy build today, and she is going to be wearing some jeans and a cute top. So here, I'm not sure, I hope this can show you, you can have upper bodies and lower bodies so you can mix and match, or they already come together. So like I said, let me just show you this. I'm just going to pop this down to about 90%. So if you're just going to draw a person with your own clothing that you wanted to make up, you can just use that and then go and place the hair and the feet. They come in flat-footed or heels. So you can just do that, or so you can just go and draw your clothing over top and away you go, or you can use, like I said, the clothing options here. So let's go find that. I'm going to start with the Holding Coffee, that upper body. So I'm just going to pop this down to 90%, click, and there we go. So that's just the upper body. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to go and create a new layer. Very important to do that so you can move things around. She's going to wear jeans today, and I'm going to just come down here a bit, and they're down the bottom. And I'm going to have her legs crossed, so we can have them crossed or straight. So I'm going to choose crossed, also at 90%. Click, and then we're going to use my arrow to place, just pop that over there. Fantastic. New layer, and I'm going to get, let's have her wearing heels today, and so I'm going to choose the crossed because they come in the straight legs or crossed, so crossed heels, also at 90%, kind of getting the rhythm here. Click on that. So yeah, you can make her a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, depending on where you want to place these. And I'm going to pop it around there. Okay. I'm going to add a new layer. Let's get a shirt. So we can go and get a top. Go back up to the top here. And I'm going to pick this little knotted number and also have that at 90%. Here we go. And you can just position that. This one fits nicely. So, and some of the bodies you're gonna have to just rotate that around a little bit just to have that fit. So that's pretty good. It fits in there nicely. Okay, so now we can just do our last layer and go and grab a hairstyle. So backwards heads, and maybe we'll do, I don't know, this ponytail here. So let's have that at 90% as well. And we'll just place that right around where it needs to be. All right, awesome. So there's our girl, right? That's a lot of work already done. So what I like to do is just combine these layers together, and then I'm gonna just knock that opacity down to about 25% so I can trace over. So I get a lot of questions with these brushes. Yes, you are allowed to use them commercially. You are allowed to sell what you create using these brushes. You basically the only thing you can't do is resell the brushes, so you can't include the actual original stamp. So just knocking back this layer and then you trace over top and you design your own thing. It's yours. You can do what you want with it, okay? So there's no extra special license you need or anything. It's just an add-on license. And yeah, as long as you don't actually include the original brush stamp, you are good to go. So by all means, sell your creations. That's what it's for. So hopefully that makes sense. So now I'm just gonna go and grab my favorite ever brush. You know what it is, the drawing brush for my line work. So I'm gonna go and just keep this sort of that usual illustrative style that I've been doing with these ladies. And so I'm gonna line it all out in black first. So I'm gonna have my brush at about, let's say 4%. That's probably plenty. And I'm gonna just go and line this. So basically all I'm gonna do is just trace over and then add my own kind of way of drawing, my own extra lines and things like that. So it's not too complicated. Just gonna follow along. And then you just sort of add how you like to go about doing things, your own quality of line work, you know? Different brushes will give you different looks. And of course, the way you color this in and design it and put patterns on will make it your own. So maybe we'll just put on some music and do a little fast forwarding while I do all this line work. Okay, so that was super easy. Just gonna turn off my stamp layer below my guide layer. And yeah, I mean, that's super simple. So we can just add some little extra lines like I was to the hair, just to make your folds and stuff just more fluid, and any other little touches you like to do. Yeah, it's really easy to do hands, especially. You don't have to think about it. It's very nice. So actually, and here, this is where you can add your own little flair to, if you wanted. You can just go, we can add a little purse here. So I'm just gonna create a new layer. And then on top, I'm just gonna do a loop through her hands and have that come down here. Let's see. Something like that. Those would be little handles. Maybe she's, her bag kind of looks like that. So yeah, now we have her holding something that's a little different, makes it more interesting maybe. But you can play with it, do whatever you want. Don't necessarily have to add something, but it's nice if you do. I think it makes it kind of fun. All right, so there's, she's holding a bag. Perfect, okay. So let's go, I'm just gonna fill her in, and I'm going to do that by selecting layer 1 and adding a new layer below. And I'm just gonna pick one of my skin colors here and use the studio pen to fill in. Of course, you can do this however you want to paint it. No right and wrong for that part, for sure. So I'm just gonna fill mine in with a solid color fill. Just just gonna do that. I know that'll look crazy, but I'll do the hair over top. And yeah, maybe we'll just play some more music while we go through and just fill in the skin here and fill in all the, I'm gonna basically block out the skin, the hair, the top, and the jeans, all on separate layers. Gonna add a new layer here and just pick. Let's just pick. I've been liking this purple color for the shirt, and we'll just fill that in on that separate layer. Okay, and then a new layer. Actually, I'm gonna do that below because the jeans sit below. I'm just gonna add that and just use this blue color. We might change this after too. So I'm just gonna fill this in. Okay, and then a new layer on top of that shirt layer. I'm gonna do the hair. I'm just gonna do it a brown color. We'll have her. Okay, and then maybe the shoes, we will stick with the purple. I'm just gonna make them a little darker. Okay, and then let's just do the soles. I'm gonna do that on a layer below. And let's make them that very famous red color. Hey, if we can't have them, we might as well draw them. I don't know. Anyways, nice pop of color is always fun. All right. There we go. Right, I guess we need the purse. So let's make the purse, I don't know, maybe a kind of a fun limey color. Okay, so here you see I've got some lines, so I'm gonna go to my line layer that has the body on it and just erase those. So that makes more sense. Okay, and I'm just gonna put some yellow details, some goldy details here. Just doing this bit. Okay. Good. Oh, right, I guess we have to do our coffee. New layer, and I'm just gonna do this. A beige color. That's probably fine. Okay. So, what I like to do with my clothing is often give it a little bit of a texture. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my jeans, and I'm actually gonna fill them white, but here I'll turn off my background so you can see. So I'm just gonna fill them with white, and then well, she looks cute with white jeans too. But anyways, we'll keep them blue. So I'm gonna add another layer on top and click on it and then hit onto clipping mask. So that will contain my painting within just these jeans. So I'm gonna go and grab that blue color again. It's just sort of a genie blue color, I don't know. And then, sorry, I made a mistake. Before I told you, I was just showing you my faves folder. I just put a lot of my favorite brushes in my faves folder, but that's not very helpful for you because you wouldn't have this folder. So before, everything that I've been getting is in the inking section. So the studio pen and the dry ink pen are found in the inking section. So sorry about that. I forget. I often just use my little favorites folder. But if you go to painting, I'm going to find the Spectra brush. I kind of like this for sort of a fabric feel. So I'm going to have it at about, oh, I don't know, 25%, 100% opacity. And then I'm just really lightly going to brush over. and then I'm just gonna keep adding layers. And then I'm gonna just change, maybe I'll bring this down to about 17 or something like that, just to change up how it kind of reacts and stuff, and just so I get those different little variations. So you can see kind of has this textured feel. Of course that's too much, and then I'm gonna do 40. I'm just gonna randomly change sizes. That's not, the size isn't super important, but I'm just gonna continue to fill that in until it's, and change the sizes until it's as thick as I would like it to be. So again, now I'm at 6, I don't know, why not? Just fill that in. Okay, it's still a little bit too blotchy. I think that's good. Just to give it a little bit of something. I don't know, I kind of like the effect of it. I'm gonna turn on my background layer again. So that's good. And then I'm gonna just go with this color, and then I'm just gonna make it darker by going down and to the right. That's just how you make a nice shadow if you want. While we're in painting, I'm just gonna grab the gouache, and I like to use the gouache for my shadows often. So I'm gonna have it maybe at about 10%, and yeah, that's good. And just kind of do some more shadows here where they would naturally fall, just trying to round her out a little bit so she's not quite so flat. Again, it depends on what style you're going for. Just gonna change that to about 6%, just get in here with some of these grooves, some of the folds that would naturally be there. Making sure that there's kind of a shadow in between and under bum here. And of course, you know, like how jeans get washed, they kind of have that more of the dye kind of on the seams and stuff. So again, just now I'm at about 2%. Just gonna come up around the seams and really darken those a bit more. I actually might come and add some more stitching around the pockets, so that's sort of a nice detail. And you can make this even darker too, if you notice you need a little bit more variation. That's good. Again, the seams here might have some more. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's an easy, quick way to do a jean. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go to my line layer, just grab a black color, go to my inking and grab that dry ink again. And I still am on 4%, and I'm just gonna do just a few, hopefully you can see, just a few little, just sort of sketchy dashes just to make it look like jean pockets with the stitching here. Of course, you could make a nice little design on it and all the rest of it, but I think I'll leave it for today. A little stitching up here. Just those little extra touches, I think, sometimes make a difference. Okay, so I think our jeans are good. Why don't we do the top? So just below this layer, just in case I don't like it, or actually no, I will need this because I'm going to duplicate it. So what I'm going to do is add a new layer, and I'm going to just add a little pattern. So this is how I would just do a quick pattern for this kind of a drawing. So I'm just going to make these cute little lemons. Maybe there would be one over here. Does that even look like a lemon? Here to make it look more like that. There. Okay, so maybe we have it like that. Maybe there's a few dots on them. Okay. And the layer below, I'm gonna just go and grab a yellow color. And still with the same brush, I'm just gonna color it in. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, probably about 7. Just color it in. I'm going to make this lighter, so I'm just gonna move it to the left. And maybe we'll just give it a little a little highlight, and then I'm gonna grab a green. And we already have that lime green, and I'm just gonna make it a little bit more greeny. Perfect. Okay, so our color palette is actually all kind of coming together. Okay, so all I'm gonna do actually is merge these two layers. So I'm just gonna say merge down, so I just have that on a layer. And I'm just gonna duplicate it, move it with my arrow and rotate. And so you can see this actually a lot better. I'm gonna move these two layers. I'm gonna swipe to the right to select both of them and move them to my layer 5 where my shirt is. And then I'm gonna click on it and say clipping mask. And there you see that will look nice because it will fit nicely in there. So I'm just gonna continue on to duplicate, move and rotate randomly and just sort of make this look like a pattern. Okay, so once you've done a few of them, you can always just go and merge these. And then you can just swipe to the left and say duplicate. Use your arrow to move. And now we've got a bunch over here too. So you can see how I don't love how this has come over here because of course that fabric wouldn't have done that. So I'm gonna just delete or erase that. And maybe we'll just duplicate it again. And just so I can get that over there. Duplicate it again. And see what we can pick up here. Maybe just like that. But I see it's over here. I'm gonna erase that. Okay, so I think that's cute for a little pattern. So I'm gonna merge these all together. So I'm just gonna pinch them all. So all the patterns are just on one layer and I don't have to have that many layers. I don't need them. Okay, so I think that looks cute. Let's go to, actually while we're here, I'm going to add a new layer just on top of those. I'm gonna say clipping mask, and I'm also gonna change the blend mode to multiply just by hitting that N there. Okay, so on this layer, I'm gonna go and select my purple. I'm going to go down and to the right to create a nice shadow color, and then go back to my brushes, fine painting and gouache, and I'm going to bring this up to 4% and just put in some little shadows here. Just again to make her look a little less flat. I'm gonna bring this up to 7 actually. Just kind of painting, just getting those edges a little darker, just makes it look a little more, yeah, again, like I said, not so flat. Bringing it smaller to maybe about 2% just to get into the grooves of this knot here, this little bow. Maybe just putting a few lines in here. Good. Perfect. I think that's fine. And of course we need to do our skin, so click on that skin layer, add a new layer, clipping mask, and I have right here, this is how I just do my shadows. I'll select that skin color down and to the right, and then I'll have a nice warm shadow. I still will stay with the gouache at about 5% and just bring in some of these guys here. Making it a little bit smaller, maybe about 2, just doing these little fingies, getting the shadow there. Good. While we're here, actually, should probably have a little bit of an indent in her back here, maybe, sort of where her spine would be. So you can just kind of indicate that a touch. You don't want it to look like not too obvious, I don't think, but just subtle. And then a little bit on her ankles here. Okay. Probably good for now. Maybe we'll get in this, actually underneath her jaw a bit and in her ear. Okay. Lovely. So we can keep going with doing her hair. I think we'll do next. So I'm going to select that hair layer. You guessed it, as always, little clipping mask, and I'm going to select this brown color. My little thing will show up. There we are. Select the color down and to the right, and that's just, I'm still staying with the gouache. It's just really keeping it pretty simple today with the brushes. I'm just gonna, was at 2%, I'm gonna go to 5. I'm sort of blocking in some areas of shade. I think I'm actually gonna do some more line work here. I didn't do a ton, so I might just change that in a sec. Bringing it down to 3%. Sort of working my way. Yeah, her hair definitely needs some more lines, so I'm going to go back to my line layer, getting the black, going to inking, dry ink, and just adding some more, just kind of getting it so we can see where it's flowing. The guide already kind of tells you generally where the hair should go, and then you can kind of take it from there. So I usually just do some more lines sort of at, you can see where the lines merge. I find that that gives it a nice look. And so thicker at there, and then just kind of trailing off. Just light strands. Of course, you don't need to draw every single hair, but you just kind of want to get to know where it's kind of falling. And then what I also like to do is just take my brush really lightly and just do some random hairs that are out of the way that kind of go with the direction, obviously, that the hair's going. I think that gives it a little more natural look, you know? Oops, probably don't want that one there. Okay, so that's probably pretty good. So I'm gonna go back to my layer again that had the shadows on it and just go back to that dark color, back to our painting and the gouache. So just continue getting some darker colors there. Maybe bringing it a bit smaller, maybe even a little touch darker here. Just really getting some of those dark spots, yeah. Okay, so we've already naturally kind of created quite a few highlights just because we've left the color below, but let's just go and bump those up a little touch too. So I'm going to go and pick my color that I had originally had, that color, and then just go, actually I'm not going to go too much to the left this time just because it's going to be a little bit too gray. So I want it to be just, I'm just going to go up and then just kind of, actually let me just bring this pen down a touch. It's going to be at 1%. Just adding a few just in here. And that's probably good. Nice. Okay, I think that's probably good for the hair. I'm not gonna go too crazy detailed, so I think that's kind of good. So let's go and just get this purse going here. I'm gonna select the purse layer, clipping mask on a new layer, and I'm just gonna select this color and grab that and just go down and to the right to get my shadow color, still on gouache, and maybe, I don't know, 4%, 5%. Let's just shade this side. Maybe it might need a few layers. Shade this under part of this strap here. Bring it down to about 3 and just kind of get in here, because that might bag a little bit, I think. Just kind of round it out a little. Good. Okay, so that's fine. And then the shoes, so the soles of the shoes, I'm gonna just do a layer on there. Clipping mask. And as you know, if you're new to the channel, I do clipping masks a lot because I make clip art. The name is not the reason, but it's because I like to, or for a lot of my illustrations, I'm needing to make different color variations. So I do this so I don't have to draw it, you know, 4 times. I can just change the colors of my illustrations to make more options for people. So that is why I do it. You don't necessarily have to do it. You can merge them or all that kind of stuff, but that's how I like to work. So it's really working non-destructively. So anyways, what I did was just got a darker color of this reddy pink color. And with the gouache, I'm just gonna do the shadow from below and just sort of work it up. Just more pressure on the bottom and then lightly as I go up. Just create that. Perfect. And then we're gonna do these parts of the shoes, the purple part. New layer, clipping mask. Grab that purple down and to the right. And just put some shadows on this side, maybe this side, sort of getting that like that. And then I'm just gonna go back to the original, to the left and up, and my brush is gonna be about 2%, and let's just do like a little subtle little highlight here. Maybe they're shiny. Okay, lovely. Well, I think that's probably good for today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials just like this one, or more specifically on how to draw straight from scratch. I post a new video every week, so I'd love to see you back here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.